Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. So today's video, I'm going to be doing a makeup look using the new Morphe X Manny MUA Glam palette. So I'm going to go more into depth on this in a little bit, but I want to start the video off with the makeup look, so let's get started. Okay, so change of plans. What I decided to do was to do one eye off camera, so I knew exactly what I was going to do, and then I'm going to recreate it on this side. So we're going to jump right into that right now. So all I did was first, I took some Juvia's Place concealer and I put that directly on my eye. Reason being is because I've worked with this concealer before as eyeshadow primer, and it's one of my favorites, so I'm not going to do anything different than what I normally would. Just because it's only fair for that route. But also too, this isn't just like, this isn't a review on Manny himself. I used to be like a hardcore fan for Manny, but I kind of saw everything go down and I kind of saw him in a different light, and I just wasn't really like into that. I wasn't into his vibe. So because of that, I'm not so much gauging this on Manny's palette. I'm gauging it on more so how Morphe's doing with this collaboration, and if the product is recommendable for you guys who are spending your hard-earned money on it. I'm going to start off with the first color that I used, which was the shade Fire Witch right here, this like pinky mauve shade. So all I did was I took that and I put that directly into my crease and I just blended that back and forth. This eye isn't really like a, I mean, the only thing that gets kind of precise is the liner, but other than that, there's not really any need to like make it perfect. You can make this more smoky, you can make this more smudgy. So what I'm gonna do now is, instead of just keeping it kind of like into the crease, I'm gonna take a little bit more and I'm gonna kick it outwards. This will just kind of help you in a little bit for where you're gauging it. So if you wanted to make it like super sharp and like a swoosh, you totally can. If you want to just keep it kind of like toned down, you totally can. It's up to you guys. I'm going to jump into Dust Cloud, which is this top like nudie beige shade. I'm going to run that directly right over the top. I'll run it back over this top too. So I'm going to go into Spellbound, this shade right here. I don't think this palette is actually that bad. It's got 3, 6, 9, 12 eyeshadows and 2 highlighters, which is pretty cool if you're a beginner or if you're a parent trying to get your, you know, kids makeup. For me, it didn't really like patch up. It didn't really get splotchy or weird. That's my experience. It could be the Juvia's Place concealer that's keeping it together. It could be the fact that I've worked with really like affordable shadows and made them work. It just, I don't know. For me, I have no problems yet. I haven't tried the highlighters and I'm waiting to try them. Like, I'm like really excited to try highlighters from Morphe, because to put them in with eyeshadow is a bold move. So now I'm going to go into Howl, and all I'm going to do is just place that on the outer corner of my eye, slowly starting to blend it inwards, but not taking it all the way in. So the reason that I'm doing this is because I want a little bit of depth towards the outer corner of my eye. I want my eyes to really be like a show, and then it's like keeping you wanting more with that edge. So just by doing this, you're giving your eye a little bit more definition and dimension. And I'm using brushes that I normally use. I'm trying to keep it kind of like everything that I normally use, because I don't want to try out something different and it's like the entire look. So going back in with the Fire Witch color, I'm going to take that directly over the top, and then same thing, kind of kick it outwards. At this point, you should have something like this. Dimension, no color, this is what we want to leave blank. It's not a cut crease per se, so you don't really have to be perfect with that application. I kind of just smoothed it over. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go into the shade Cancer right here. It's kind of like a burgundy-esque purple shade. And so all I'm going to do is just place it and just swipe it. This is why I'm saying it doesn't really have to be perfect or like exact. Just kind of go with your eye shape and not against it. So next, I'm going to go in with a brush that is fully clean. I'm going to go back into Cancer, but I'm going to use the side that's dry. And I'm just going to pack that straight on top. The only reason I wet the brush was because I wanted it to look a little bit smoother. I'll be right back. I'm going to do my liner off camera and then I will jump back on and we'll continue the rest of this look. Okay, so I'm just taking whatever concealer is left on the bottom part of my lash line, or like on the lower lash line. And then what I'm going to do is go back in with Fire Witch. I'm just going to put the base tone down, this color. And I'm just going to apply that underneath my eye. Again, can be smoky, does not have to be perfect. There is no perfection needed with this look. So, I'm going to go in with the NYX Wonder Pencil and I'm just going to line my waterline. So, I'm going to dip into Howl and Spellbound and I'm just going to apply them on my lower lash line directly right underneath my lashes. So, just kind of like this. And then to get this effect that I got in this corner, I'm just going to bring it slightly down a little bit, not too crazy. So I'm going to let that chill for a second. I'm going to go back into Dust Cloud right here. And I'm going to pack that on where I put the nude liner, just so that way that stays in place and it doesn't move on me. Perf, it's looking really nice. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go into... We're going to try it on the eye and see how that goes, and then we'll try it on the face. But I'm going to go into, I want to go into nose. So I'm going to take a little brush, and I'm just going to put that on the inner corner. She's decent, she's decent. Let me just see this on my face. Actually, it's kind of, I mean, it's there. I'm not mad at it. But true test is going to be how it lays on the face. So I'll be right back. I'm going to do my foundation. I'll come back on. We'll put the highlighter on. And then we'll talk about the palette a little bit more in depth. So I'll be RB. Okay, so I'm back. I popped on some lashes. I did my makeup. So now that the base and like highlight... Nope, just kidding. So now that the base and the contour and everything else is done, we're going to dip into the highlights. So I grabbed a clean brush. This is the Real Technique setting brush. And I'm going to try both colors. So I'm going to do Apollo on one side, Nova on the other. And we're just going to see how this goes. So Apollo is going to be the one that I'm putting on my right side. So let's pray that this is good. I mean, it looks good on camera, but in real life, hella texture. Like, you can see there's just something about it that like it's just grabbing to my texture. Also too, I don't know if you guys can see this. I'm gonna try to like, but it's one of those highlighters when it's like not your color, like it's got obviously a little bit more tan in it. You can kind of see like the brown shadowness to it. But like from this angle, it looks blinding. But from this angle, I can see that this is like not it. So I'm going to try Nova and see how that works out on the other side. I actually really like Nova in the inner corner, so hopefully it's the same on the skin. Yeah, I like Nova more. Still grabs to the texture, which, I mean, I'm not expecting miracles. I have textured skin. But I have other highlights in my collection that perform a lot better, that don't grab on my skin. So if you have texture, that's one thing I'd like say to look out for, because it will kind of like emphasize it. But other than that, I mean, I really like Nova as a whole. If there was something that I would change, it'd probably be Apollo. I mean, my earring just got caught to this palette. And granted, I know that this palette is supposed to touch on different types of skin tones. So, I mean, I feel like it would work, but just personally, I don't like that I can see the brown tone to it. But other than that, I mean, I feel like the shadows performed really, really well. I used 1, 2, 3, 4. So about 5 colors from the palette. So let's go a little bit more into depth about it. So I mean, hands down, I would definitely recommend this if you're a beginner. The only thing I don't like is that 2 things. This palette style was kind of like originally done by Stacey Marie with the Be Perfect Carnival palette, which I'll post a picture of. I actually have that palette in my collection. It's a lot bigger, and I mean, I get it. It's like a cool concept, but I mean, it kind of was a rip-off from Stacey's palette, which is what made hers so unique. Second of all, this palette, granted it is good, granted it is $20 and it comes with the mirror, it is the Manny MUA X Makeup Geek palette, but Morphe style. So, you guys probably won't be able to tell, but so we have, who is this? Mars in the center, and we have Gamenta right here. Not that they have to be the exact same hue, but like, it's the same vibe. We also have Insomnia on this side and Aries on this side, and they're both that like reflective duochromatic brown red. Then we have Artemis, which is going to be pretty much a matte version of Dust Cloud. Then I would say that Fire Witch is pretty much a mixture of Sora and Frappe. So, I mean, if you didn't get your hands on this, I feel like it's a good kind of like dupe to get this one. However, I just feel like it's the same palette. Morphe, though, like, if that makes any sense to you, it's the exact same color scheme but in a Morphe palette, and it just comes with highlight. That's the only thing that I really feel like makes it different, other than the fact that he added like darker shades on this side, but this color is in that palette as well. So if you didn't get your hands on that one, I mean, I would definitely swipe this one up. That's my only like real gripe with it, is that if you already have that one, you don't need this one. And honestly, these highlights, they're decent, but they're not anything that I'm like, oh my god. Like, I will show you some good highlights. And I mean, granted, it is a little bit pricier, but still, like, if you're gonna invest your money, I always say invest your money into good things. This is Champagne Pop from Jacqueline. I'm going to take this and I'm going to put this right on my forehead. Can you guys see that? It's a blinding highlight. It fits my skin tone. It's not grabbing onto my skin like this is. You can see the texture. Second, this one from Wet n Wild that I actually got and I'm obsessed with. It's the Hello Halo highlights. This is another one that I can put it straight on this side of my forehead. It's very, very reflective, and it's not grabbing onto my skin texture like this one is. I can hella tell the difference between this. And I mean, not bad. Like I said, if you don't have makeup and this is kind of like your first time with a palette, for sure I'd recommend it. But if you already have like the Makeup Geek palette and highlights, like, or if you're just looking for like a good highlighter, it ain't all that. But price wise and value wise, I think it's a good deal. I'm just kind of like, it's the same. It's literally the same, with a couple more shadows and a couple highlights. But other than that, I mean, I really like how this look turned out. I probably could have got the same look with the original palette. And yeah, I mean, that's pretty much all I have to say. If you guys are really diehard fans for Manny, go grab it. If you guys are just starting out in makeup and you know you just want a palette that kind of does it all, go grab it. If you guys just, you know, support him, go grab it. But like I said, if you already have some of this stuff in your collection, I don't really feel like you need it. No shade to Manny, I really don't care. If you like me, if you don't like me, I don't give a fuck. But yeah, that's my whole review on the palette. I would give it out of like a 10, maybe like a 7. Just granted, given the fact that I already have this stuff. But yeah, so that's pretty much all I have to say for this palette. If you guys liked this video, let me know down below. Also too, if you guys want me to do any more looks with this palette, just to kind of see versatility with it, I totally can. If you guys want me to do like a back-to-back, like which one performs better, totally can do that too. But yeah, I love you guys. I will see you guys in the next video. So until then,